The Keyz and Dawoud podcast.
Alright, we back. New show, new
You
episode.
already know what it is.
That Keyz and Dawoud podcast. We
Yo,
back.
episode 52, baby.
Yep.
Anniversary episode.
It's our anniversary. Oh,
Come on.
anniversary.
Come on. Tony.
I can't sing, so you know that's how it goes. But we back. We got new topics, new shit to talk about. We got a lot of shit.
That's right.
Actually, we might want to jump into the topic we was talking about before, behind the scenes, right?
The behind the scenes production and
like
hip hop.
what makes a producer, and what technically, because these days right now, everybody calls themselves a producer if they got a computer at their crib,
rearrange,
and they editing and doing stuff
and
like
all that
right?
other shit. It's different, but I know, to me, back in the days, it was like, you know, you had people like Easy Mo B, you had DJ Premier, Pete Rock, you had all them dudes, and them dudes was actually behind the boards, tapping on the MPC, doing the samples, chopping it up, mixing it down, putting it all together.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Your Timberland, you know.
Now these days, producer is looked at as differently, right?
Right.
Because a lot of people would say a producer is like Quincy Jones, right?
Yeah.
Right? You would say he was a producer. Nope, he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like the word technically producer, he wasn't. He was more of like
an engineer,
more of a conductor or an arranger.
A beat conductor.
You know what I mean? Like because you know a conductor in a
like in the symphony.
In a symphony, he don't do shit, but
he directs it.
It's important.
It's
still
direction.
important
He's
because
like,
he's
get that
leading
note
them.
right there. Okay, guitars, cellos.
His ear. That's what we're looking for. His ear. Right.
Absolutely.
But then we had a discussion about Dr. Dre.
Right.
Dr. Dre, great guy.
Absolutely.
Great. Started out hip hop. You know,
definitely. NWA.
He was
Niggas
the
with
producer behind
attitudes.
it, and a lot, right?
Yep.
And a lot
But
of
he
people-
started off with the World Class Wrecking Crew.
Right,
He was
as a
wearing
DJ,
makeup.
right, as a DJ, and he was doing the. They say he was doing the production behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Behind the scenes, he probably was.
And we talk about like people like Diddy, Puff Daddy,
Right.
who also got a lot of credit for being a producer, a big time producer, especially in the '90s into the 2000s, right? Now we look at these two guys and we say, oh well, you know, they were like the greatest producers, but they technically weren't, right? Because they had a team that usually like Puff had the Hitmen.
Yep.
Who was Stevie J.
Stevie J from Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like a lot of people, and he's married to Faith now. Did you know that?
I know, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know what's really crazy?
That's
Because
fucking crazy.
The show and all the shit that he went through, all the women he went
You would
through,
think
and
that
children.
I think it's a whole setup, but that's a whole other topic. I think Stevie J is really a fucking genius on the low. On the low. Because think about it. First of all, he made a lot of beats that fucking phenomenal beats. Phenomenal.
Really?
Classics. I think he made what's the shit with Biggie? Not 10 Crack Commandments. Him and 112. That shit with him and 112.
Okay.
Like he's got classics, yo.
Right.
He made joints for Faith. He made joints for Mace.
Right.
All basically all
So
bad
a
boys.
lot of his production was pretty much what like R&B hip hop,
Right. And the things that we all thought Diddy
like New
did.
Jack Swing type shit.
Right. Nah.
But I'm saying, you know,
His
on the
stuff was
R&B hip hop ish.
I wouldn't say that because I would say that's more before him. Like
Right.
that
But it was
the
a
swing.
trend.
But
It was a segue
transition.
to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's when, you know, Andre Harrell was still running Uptown, and then Diddy was kind of like just leaving out.
Right.
That's when he created. You get? That's when the cook-up was happening. You know what I'm saying? So back to the producer thing, right? Now, Josh, you're a producer. You do things behind the scenes, and you know what it takes to be a technical producer, right?
Yes.
But a lot of people think that a producer is just the person that he does everything. They think the producer does everything.
Right.
And that's not technically the job.
That's true. That is a good point.
Right? Because we got like Dr. Dre, like we talked about Dr. Dre. He had Scott Storch.
Yep.
He had
DJ Khalil.
Mailman. These guys
Other dudes.
were the ones who were constructing the crazy.
And he basically Dre got the credit for all that.
But see, the thing is this: we got to give credit where credit is due, right? So all of those gentlemen, plus Dre, made the Chronic, right?
Right. Not the original Chronic, but the Chronic,
2002. Oh yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I said 2002. But anyway, my thing was that Dre came in after they made their beat and might have just pressed one button.
Yep.
Might have just said, you know what, turn that bass down. Might have just said, you know what, we don't need the keys in there.
The snares are too
Well,
heavy.
you always need the keys. You know what I'm saying?
Without the keys, there's no keys in Dawoud.
You know what I mean? But you get my point. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, does that give him the producer credit? Does that give him the right to get the whole...
The claim to no.
I'll say yes. And the reason why I say yes is like, to be a producer, you could choose to have different hats.
Right.
So a producer could be a songwriter.
Correct.
He could
I
contribute
was just
to
going
that.
to throw that in there next.
A producer could actually play an instrument.
Right.
So what the main job of a producer is, it's different back then than it is now. Back then, a producer never touched the board.
Exactly.
That was the sound engineer's job.
Right.
Now
See,
producers
now
are sound
right?
engineers.
Is it that?
Yes. Now these days, if you're a sound engineer, you are technically also a producer.
Correct.
Because you have to control and understand the vision of the song.
Exactly.
So you are like an orchestrator, like you would see in a symphony, but for the mix board.
Exactly.
You're telling the levels for the snare when to go up.
Exactly.
You're controlling the vision and the sonic palette.
Exactly. So now, when you put it like that, that's where Quincy Jones comes in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
The
'Cause
conductor.
he made Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Right.
The most incredible album of its time, right? But he got all the credit. That's where I think the problem happens.
Yeah, me too.
You get what I'm saying? Because everybody...
Me too, because I think, you know, my thing is, if you just... Excuse me. I'm getting all tied up here. If you, basically were the person that you only did the finishing touch on it, and then you get all the credit for, like, okay, you did the beat, you chopped the drums, you did all this, and you didn't even do all that. All you did was made the final touches. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, all the credit goes to you.
But now here we go. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in there just to see what you say. I gotta play devil advocate.
Wrench?
I don't know, maybe. But I also gotta play devil advocate. Mm-hmm. So let's say Mailman or Stevie J, any one of we named, right?
Okay.
Because they're all great. They did a record, but it didn't have that sauce. It didn't have that feel.
It needed that final touch.
Sometimes you need that final touch. Because remember, we all saw the Biggie movie. You saw the Biggie movie. You saw it, right?
Right.
Puff came into the studio with the Juicy record, right?
Yep.
Everybody, what the fuck is this bullshit? Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit. No. But did he saw it?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't give a fuck if he don't do this record. Fuck him. He's done. Right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
When he did it and he sat with it and he came out with the fucking amazing bars that he came out with.
Yes, sir.
Do we take that credit back from Diddy now? Because the sound guy did his part, but he didn't come up with that record.
Right.
He didn't come up with that sample.
No.
But,
you see how it gets
But what Diddy did is Diddy saw something there that he knew would work. And then that's the collaboration portion that comes next with the artist and then the engineer. It's a team.
Right, but my thing is this: how come one player on the team gets all the sauce, all the glory?
That's the problem with the industry.
That's what I have a problem.
That's the problem.
Because this is my thing, right? Even we say that we say, okay, well, Quincy, Diddy, Dre, all of them were important because they put that little sauce in there, right? They put the little ingredient. They might have just added a little paprika, or they just put a little salt in it, and that's it. And now it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they did.
The final touch.
But my thing is, that doesn't negate the shit that the other guys did too, though.
Right.
So why can't all of us get the shine?
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Agree with you 100%.
It's the same thing like the lead singer in a band versus the bass player.
Exactly.
The bass player is slapping the bass,
but without
creating that rhythm section. Yeah, imagine so.
You know, you ain't gonna fucking move.
Imagine like Billie Jean wrote the bass line.
Oh my God, it wouldn't be the same.
But do you guys know that guy's name?
No, that's my point.
There you go.
That's fucked up.
There you go.
Because now let's go back. Let's go back a little bit.
Is.
Remember a couple weeks ago we talked about the producer guy dissing Lauryn Hill because Lauryn said oh well they created the sound for her and this that, but she was like, no, I wrote all the lyrics, I did this, I did that, da da da. That's the point he's arguing, I think.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, my thing is at the end of the day, like in the liner notes on most albums, you do see the credits.
right.
But it's
that's
not
the
where
physical performance.
I know.
That's the physical.
Right.
And
I
we don't do that no
like
more.
but the thing is, I don't know. I don't know who Johnny Reed is.
Exactly.
That played that drum or
But-
John Fitzgerald playing the guitar.
But back in the days when we did get those, when you bought your CD or you bought your cassette and
know
you read it,
you know
you
who
used
gave
to read it.
Yeah,
I used
but
to read it. You
really
used
gave
to read it.
You know who really
And we
gave
used to
recognition?
give them credit.
You know who gave real recognition?
Who?
Your boy,
Who?
Mr. Funky,
Who?
Mr. James Brown.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
robbed a lot
You're
of
like,
people.
Mason, yo!
He robbed a lot of
He used
people.
to yell it out. He let people know.
Yeah, no.
My man.
But we also
the
did
drummers
see
know.
that he was a dirtbag as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone
You know what I'm
has
saying?
something to
Just
them.
like
But
Mike.
he- but
Just
he
like
did-
Mike did too. Mike robbed people too. You know what I'm saying?
Hardcore.
Let's be honest. And the thing is, this is another thing I don't like.
Who
I
said
don't
that
like-
Mike robbed people? Was
He
it
did.
Quincy? Okay, so Quincy said that.
So you don't believe that?
So do we have to believe that?
No, this is
believe
well
it.
documented.
I do a lot of lying?
The other guy that said I didn't get paid for it,
Yeah.
shoot him.
Oh,
So
I don't know.
The guy from
that's fact. That's in a court case.
the guys from Toto, you know, Rosanna.
Yeah, yeah.
They wrote most of "Beat It."
Yeah,
I mean,
and they
sorry,
sued him.
most of Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Right. And
They
sued-
wrote
and they
a
sued
majority
someone.
of it, and they
Mike
got
didn't write no
nothing.
lyrics?
Not,
No, he wrote some, but also, you know, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis wrote some lyrics for
that's
him too.
true. That's true. Jimmy
You gotta
Jam produced too.
remember, you know Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis is like gods
Yeah,
in that shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they wrote a whole Janet album.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
Those guys are
these
sick.
these are people that you got to remember. Just because these guys are stars and we hold them in a high regard doesn't mean they're good people. You get
That
what I'm
is
saying?
true.
That doesn't mean they're good.
That
Look at
is
R.
true.
Kelly right now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Mr.
saying?
P on you.
Exactly. Right now, that motherfucker's nuts.
But listen, you know
Look
what's
at-
crazy? You know what's crazy because, yo, when you think about it and it comes out your mouth, you be like, damn, yo, I'm being a judge of this person because I don't like what he did, and what he did is quote unquote not right from society's view and from what you feel in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucked up because, you know, us as people, we'll sit up there and be like, oh, this person sucked the dick to get where he's at.
Right.
Or they're gay and they're with this person and they're living this false life. But at the end of the day, what business is that of ours?
That's
Yeah.
you
You know what I mean?
you got a real point. I can't say shit
Why
about that.
why
But the
can't
thing
they
is-
just live their life and be who they want to be without us fucking always dabbling into the shit?
But
That's a
they're
good-
trying to make
but
us
we're all
see
guilty
something
of
new.
that.
Okay, Michael Jackson. They portrayed him as the boy next door. He was far from that. He
That's
was
true. He
partaking
got a point
drugs.
there, too.
They want you to believe something that's not really there. The funny thing is, Prince.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want you to think he was the boy next door, but he was the most cleanest guy out of all of them.
He got a point. Oh shit, Josh, you're right, Josh. He does got a point. That is a
Prince.
fucking good point.
Prince.
Prince, that's a fucking
And you
good
know one
point.
thing
'Cause
about
we
Prince,
always
Prince
thought
never-
he was a devious
Prince was-
motherfucker.
Prince was a-
No, he wasn't.
Prince was a producer,
That's
a
a
writer.
good fucking
like, do you
point,
know
Josh.
Prince?
Good one.
If Prince was living like he had so many songs he didn't even have to write.
But this is, but
Yeah.
see now, all right, so we go back to our producing and credits, right?
Right.
That's another thing that so this is the thing that I realized, even with Prince and stuff like that, when it comes to getting credit, it's about who got the most money in that situation, right then and there. If you got the most money, you get the credit.
You get the bag.
You get the credit. No, it's not even the bad. The credit,
Yeah.
and credit does lead to the bag.
bag, yes.
You get what I'm saying? Which
what
is
I mean.
sad, because a lot of people should get their just due.
Yo, you know who I feel that should really get their just due? The DJ.
I think the,
The
DJs
DJ.
has been.
No,
getting
he's
just
getting
due.
it. He's
is
getting
like
it.
so important.
They have been.
Without the jigga, you don't have the MC, man.
Yeah, but you got a lot of DJs that's making wow money.
Oh, yeah.
Way more money than artists.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
they
yeah.
are getting it.
Yeah, but
When
it
you think
depends on
about
the
it,
DJ.
it's just not-
It depends, like if they're a DJ like Jazzy Jeff or DJ AM, rest in peace.
Right.
Or people like that. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of people
But-
like that. You got Bismarck.
I know there are.
Bismarck is killing them in the
Yo, but there's
in the game.
DJs that be
You
doing
got-
the dubstep and all
Yeah.
that are getting
And then you got
tremendous bags.
And then you got the people who does those EDM.
Yeah.
That EDM
Was
game
that guy
is
Marshmello?
completely different. Yeah, Marshmello, crazy. what's the dude with the mouse head? Mousy or whatever the fuck his name is?
Dead Mouse?
Dead Mouse.
I don't know that scene too much.
The money that they get is phenomenal.
Right.
But you know what? I think what you're saying is, it's not getting it's actually getting the accolades.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I think that's what you mean, right? Like actually getting the props for it, not
absolutely.
the bag, the money.
Now we're talking about production and everything like that, and me and you both talked about this. And you know, like I told you, what pisses me off is like, you know, it makes me mad that I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm just like, sometimes I say to myself, okay, for a prime example, salute to Lord Finesse. It's like he founded like DITC with other brothers, and it's like, to me, it's like his name should be big as Fat Joe or Big L.
That's his fault.
I don't know if it's his fault at all.
Everybody has.
I mean, a lot of people know him. A lot of people know him, but it's like the people that know him are in the business.
He could be doing more.
Right.
But maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Did you think about that?
Because you got to think about this. Think about this too. How many underground people that stay underground, like where they're not mainstream, right? They're not mainstream.
They get comfortable.
We have one.
Exactly.
We have a couple underground that are not mainstream. DJ Premier is one of them. That is getting a tremendous bag, and he is known. Like, he's known.
Yeah, but that again, all of those underground dudes, they want to be there. That's
Right.
what they want to be, because if
Because
they
they don't
didn't,
want the crossover.
if they didn't, they would do things to take them out of it.
It's not even about that, because sometimes being
Yo.
underground works because they'll be making more
Exactly.
money there
Look at that.
than being part of somebody's
Like, for
taking their
example-
cut.
Like, for example, a lot of people don't talk about the Locks, right?
Right.
Locks is not like a mainstream, but they're known
Known,
by
yeah.
everybody in the
By a
world.
lot of people.
And they stayed right where they at. But
Yep.
guess what? They make a bag. Their bag don't drop. It just
No.
stay. They're
Yep.
like this. They're on the plain course. Just
Yep.
keep getting that money. Keep getting that money. And they're gonna keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You don't hear a Sheik. You don't hear Sheik at all. But he's on tour.
You hear him.
You see him
Hear
on stage.
The albums and stuff like that.
You see Styles, you
Right.
see Jada, you get what I'm saying? So these things, sometimes that's the choice of that person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yo, speaking of that, speaking of producers
Yeah.
and MCs and stuff like that, did you hear your boy, Eric Sermon, Southern
He's
Girl?
always bringing these old
No,
rappers.
did
shit,
you hear
man.
this song?
No, I didn't hear it.
You gotta hear
I'm
Southern
listening
Girl.
to it,
You
man.
know you're gonna want to hear it.
No, man,
You're gonna want to hear it.
I
I
don't
promise
hear it.
you. You're gonna want to hear it.
Maybe next week.
No, you.
Maybe next
I
week.
promise you will want to hear
Next
it.
week.
It's
I
one
want
of
to
those
hear no
songs.
Redman. I don't want to hear no Eric Sherman.
No,
I'm
you're gonna
sorry.
want to hear this song.
I don't know about
It's
Eric Sermon.
Eric Sermon with Big Crit. It's dope, yo.
Eh.
It's Southern Girl.
Eh.
Yo, you should hear it. You gotta hear it.
We'll see.
I'm never gonna tell you something that's, you know,
We'll see. We'll see.
that's terrible.
Not in it.
Eric Sermon is
Sorry, Eric.
the dude.
I'm sorry,
yo.
Eric.
He
I like your old
is
shit
the-
though. I like all the old shit. New shit, I don't know, Eric. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Eric.
He
You my
hasn't-
man still.
He hasn't heard
No.
it though. He hasn't heard it, so.
The Keyz and Dawoud podcast.